Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we are going to work on our Radial Symmetry project, and you will finish your colorful background before you start on your foam plate. But today everybody will get a foam plate and we'll start on this part. And just be sure that you're finished with this before you start on your foam plate. And I just wanted to show you two examples. This one has a lot of detail, which means there will be less black and more of your color will show through. This one does not have as many details, which means that this person will have more black paint and less color showing through. So if you want more color to show through, you want to carve in more details. You can also make your details, you can kind of carve in thicker lines. So if I wanted to make this a little bit thicker, I could carve in a thicker line. And that would also have less black paint coming through and more of the color. So anyway, I'm going to set this to the side and I'm going to show you. So what you're going to do on your square is you're going to go to the corner, it doesn't matter which one, and you are going to do sort of like a rainbow line. So it looks like a little pizza slice right here in the corner. All right, and then we're going to do rings. But we want to leave space because we're going to add details in each ring. So we're carving a little circular ring. And look, it's not perfect. It's okay. All right. You guys will get one of these. So if you mess up, it's okay. Just make something out of it. It does not have to be perfect. So now in each little ring, I'm going to add details. So I can add whatever details I want. I might add just some lines. I might add some little wavy lines. I can add polka dots. I can add shapes. So you decide what you want to do. If I do polka dots, I might want to make them big. So I can do little ones, but I would want to do a lot, or else a lot of the black's going to show through. And I can do big ones. All right, so I'm just going to finish this, and then I'll show you what you're going to do next. Remember to fill each ring up with lots of carved-in designs in your foam plate. Use different patterns, different designs, and it will look fabulous. And what you're going to do now is you're going to bring your background and your foam plate to the table that I'm sitting at. And I'm going to help you with this next part. The first thing that you're going to do is give me your foam plate and I will mark it. So I'm going to flip it to the back and I'm going to place an arrow on your foam plate. This is going to help you to know how to print and where to print. So there will be a space where there is black printing ink, okay? And you are going to use a brayer. It's called a brayer. And you are going to roll your brayer in that ink, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you are going to ink your printing plate, okay? You want to be sure that you ink the whole thing, all right? Make sure there's no spots that don't have ink, and make sure you don't ink it on top of this because we don't want it to get on top. So be sure that it's away from your background. You can set the brayer down on its back right here. Don't set it in the ink. And then what you're going to do is you are going to print this print with the arrow pointing to the center. Okay, so this is really important. So I'm going to kind of hold it, pinch it a little bit. I'm going to set it down right there. I am going to rub really well, okay? If you want to get a Kleenex to do this, it might feel a little bit better on your hand, but you want to be sure that you rub every part really, really well, and be sure your arrow is pointing to the center. That's important. That's why I drew the arrow in the first place. Be sure it's pointing to the center. When you feel as though you've rubbed it really well, you're going to peel it off. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Okay, and now we're going to just repeat those steps 3 times. You have to grab more ink on your brayer, ink your plate, okay? So you can tell right here, it had ink, but it's lighter. It's darker over here. So you want to be sure that you ink your plate and it's very dark. Rest that on its back. And here we go. Should I place it like this? No, the arrow's not pointing to the center. So be sure that when you place it, I like to kind of hold it above. Make sure my arrow is pointing to the center, line it up, and then press it down. Once I press it down, I don't want to move it, okay? Again, I'm going to rub it very carefully with my fingers. I want to make sure that I transfer all of that ink, okay? Be sure you transfer all of that ink. You're just going to repeat this here and here, making sure the arrow points to the center every time. That is what is going to ensure that we get that radial design. Okay, see right here, I didn't press it down real good, and so I'm having to be sure I press down right there real good. All right, I'm going to peel it. Look, it's getting on my fingers, so I'm going to try to really be sure I don't get fingerprints on this. Peel it. And my design's coming together. Okay, I'm going to continue doing this, and I'm going to speed it up for you, and then I will let you get started. You may ask, Miss Kilgore, how do you know where the center of the picture is? And some of you guys folded your paper last week, and so if you have that fold, that will help you know. If you don't have that fold, I will fold your paper when I draw your arrow. I absolutely love them. When you're finished, these need to go on the drying rack. We are also going to save our foam plates because if you're in kindergarten or first grade, you are going to use a foam plate that a second or third grader made. So if you're in second or third grade, you're going to leave your foam plate at my table, and then that way a younger student may use it, okay? We're going to do that, make sure our younger students are able to use these as well. So be sure that you print good. You can see some places that I forgot to rub. You see right there? So it's a little bit of an imperfect print, but it's okay. That won't matter that much. Just be sure that you try to be sure that you rub the entire plate before lifting it up. All right, have fun.